Welcome back, everybody. We are going to color our Ghost Rider today. Color scheme is pretty simple. I'm going to use a baby blue using Copic markers. Baby blue for the reflection in the metal and the gauntlet, the chain. For the flames, I'm going to use basically three colors: a yellow, an acid yellow, and a chrome orange. And then for the jacket, I'm going to use a two-tone Aqua mint and teal blue. I'll go ahead and put these into the description so that you don't have to remember them. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start, like I said, with the baby blue and start to just kind of do a little reflection on the metal. And on the gauntlet itself, the bottom of each of these spikes coming forward, and then on the spikes that we can see all of it, we're just going to put a little highlight streak on each of them. Give it just that little metallic look. On the bottom of the gauntlet, I'm going to go with a warm gray 1 and a warm gray 2. I'm also going to do that on the front side of the metal knuckles there. Just give it a little shadow. And then right on top of that, warm gray 3. Copic makes two lines of grays, warm gray and cool gray. They're slightly different, and they come in numbers 1 through 10, 10 being the darkest. I'm going to just use that light baby blue for the rest of the gauntlet. Again, don't want to overdo it. Then we can start with the glove, and the glove is the same color as the jacket itself. So I'm going to start with the light Aqua Mint. And then go right into a teal blue. Right, and then I can take those same two colors and just kind of move right down into the jacket proper. So I'm doing one section at a time because remember the alcohol markers, the Copic markers, whatever brand of markers you have, work best when the paper or the paper surface that you're using is just a little bit wet and the blend is better. If I do the whole thing one color and let it dry and then a whole nother color, they will blend a little, but not as well. If you don't have the same colors that I'm using, typically Johnny Blaze's outfit was different shades of blue, like a lighter blue followed by a darker blue. It was almost navy blue or royal blue through the years. When he first was introduced in 1972, he just had a typical, not typical, but a blue motorcycle jumpsuit. And so you can get by with slightly different shades of blue and still come up with some pretty decent results. Kind of sizes up the jack a little bit. Remember, as you're using Copics, they saturate the paper very well. So if I flip it over, and then always have a piece of paper underneath. Obviously, you don't want to get it on any drawings underneath or your desk underneath if it's a clean workspace. All right, just a couple other areas on the jacket, then we can move on to the flaming skull. Okay, so for the flaming skull, we're going to use 3 different yellows. I'm going to use the just standard yellow. Okay, in Copics it's Y06. Then I'm going to follow that up with an acid yellow, which is Y08. And then I'm going to finish up with a chrome orange, YR04. And I'm going to I work light to dark. Okay, and I'm going to start with the interior, kind of just the top of the head flame first, and then we're going to go to the exterior after that. Using my fine tip to just kind of get the outline correct. And remember, these markers always go on a little bit darker than at first. When they dry a little bit lighter. And so that's the advantage of color swatches. Anytime you begin a new drawing, always do color swatches to make sure that you know what it looks like on paper, and then you can also practice mixing them and see how well they mix together. Some colors mix together better than others. Outline it. Then I'm going to come in with the wide chisel tip and just bring that down a little bit. I'm going to kind of think that the skull has a roundness to it. So instead of bringing the yellow all the way down to the forehead, I'm just going to kind of cap it. Right there, and then go to the acid yellow and do the same thing. Just go to the edges with the fine tip. And then work my way inwards. Now bring it in a little bit, but not as much as with the first layer. And before I add the orange, I'm going to go back in with my light yellow and try to get a little blend between those two. So just going over where they meet. Back in with the acid yellow, kind of a circular motion. And then go in with my final shade of chrome orange. Fine tip. And then I'll just do one side. Go in with the acid yellow. Again, try to just maintain that blend. So wet on wet works best when you're trying to blend your colors together. If you work too slowly and let one dry, it'll still blend, but not quite as well. Again, return to the acid yellow and just kind of agitate that little area between the two. And then finally go back in with my lightest, just the standard yellow, the Y06. And you get a pretty decent blend. Okay? I'm going to go do this small area up here, and this is going to be pretty kind of darker orange, just a little flame that escaped, got away from the rest of them. That orange really makes it pop. Just kind of dabbing. All right. So now we kind of have the formula down. We're going to go on the large area on the left and then to the right, and then we can be done with that. And then we just have to do the background and we will be complete. Using the chisel tip to get those clean edges. This one I was careful about, but I didn't need to be as careful because I'm going to bring yellow into this. This other area, I need to be a little bit more careful because we want a pretty clean edge between this yellow and the background. And then I can put the flat side of the chisel tip down and bring this yellow inward. Now I'm still going to cut these edges on this other side because I don't want it to blend the other way out. I don't want it to blend this way. So I want that orange to stay where it is. I'll probably stop about halfway, hit that left side, because again, I don't want the area to dry. Acid yellow all the way to the edge. And this way, I don't have to cover the yellow completely. I can let some of that brighter yellow kind of pop through a little bit. So, you know, flames just kind of have a tendency of changing value. I'm missing one of my colors. All right. Again, just try to blend those together and then come in with the chrome orange and hit it one more time. Bring that orange in just a little bit. And then again, blend. So the brush tip really works well for kind of getting some curvy lines and stuff like that. Do some interior flames and things. Okay. I always go back in with my light yellow and try to blend yet again. So it's just kind of like a dance. It's a partnership between colors. That looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy the way this is turning out. And then we repeat the process on the other side. blending. It's kind of this is one of the parts of this process that people tend to forget. And just to go back and try to get a nice blend really pays off. Because as the edges become softer, you know, when you're trying to do something organic like fire, you want softer edges, not hard edges where you can tell where one color starts and another color stops. Alright, looking pretty good. I'm just going to bring the flame down just a little bit on the side here so there's contrast between the glow and then the skull itself.